Have you watched any of the old Better Call Saul?
I have.
Yeah, me too.
I'm caught up on
I
it.
am caught up as well.
It's good. I mean, used to think spin-off, it's going to be terrible. Now, I don't know if that's true anymore, but it used to be that way, right? They tried to do spin-offs and they would never be as good as the original show. And I'm not saying it's as good. Yeah, Joey. I love that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's as good as Breaking Bad
yet,
but I mean, it's entertaining and it's still got some great writing and some good characters.
Yep, very watchable, and feel like if you go back and, I mean, I don't know, maybe if I went back and watched the first season of Breaking Bad, I'd think differently about it now, but at the time I wasn't totally sold on that show. Even in the second season, I was kind of like, this is kind of slow moving at times, because they do some things on both of those shows where like slow camera movements or the camera lingers on something and they're kind of like, okay, move faster, but they're kind of just doing a more cinematic sort of thing, I guess. So I feel like it's interesting now, but obviously they're going to show his moral decline or whatever. So as he gets more and more involved with gangsters and whatnot, I feel like it'll ramp up and get, maybe
Interesting to see what kind of made Mike become the criminal.
Right.
Because he was a former cop and now a parking attendant. He doesn't really seem to be that kind of guy who's going to go out and kill people or anything like that. But he's going to get there because if you've watched Breaking Bad. So it looks like next week's episode will start to explain that, how the police came looking for him.
Some kind of backstory we're going to have to explore here.
And the brother thing is interesting, his lawyer brother who is allergic to electricity. And it turns out, I guess it's all in his head after last night's episode when she kind of flipped on the bed and he didn't see it.
Yeah, it was anytime you're wearing the old tinfoil blanket, my immediate conclusion is that it's all in your head.
Yeah, right.
It's funny. He was able to spin some interesting sounding justification for it, but I don't know. I've never, the only time other time I've heard people, and I know it's real, but when people start talking about electromagnetism or whatever, I think of Lost. I think that island was supposedly had a high degree of electro. So that's the worst place for old Lenny to go to, right?
Yeah, he burst into flames there.
So yeah, that's good. Did you catch the premiere of Last Man on Earth the other night?
I did.
Yeah.
I did see that.
I'm sold on that already, man.
I think it's funny. How long can they keep that up?
You're right.
Is what I wonder. If it's just going to be him and then I forget her name, the comedian they have is the woman who they didn't.
Is it Kristen Shaw?
That
something
that sounds
Shaw.
Right. You didn't even see her on the previews.
Right.
So, and he is still the last man on Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, it's a woman. So, but the stuff he's doing is hilarious. And he's got the whole, the whole group of friends that are all balls, from the volleyball. Like he's watching Castaway and sees, Wilson and all that. And he's got a ping pong ball, and tennis ball, or whatever. It's fun.
I love how he said that, this is crap. I'm never going to start talking to a volleyball. And then he's got like a whole bunch of them.
You were right, Castaway. You nailed it. Or whatever.
Apologies to the makers of Castaway. You totally nailed it. Yeah, and whoever that is, Kristen Shaw or Wendy Shaw or whatever her name is.
She's also the voice of one of the girls on Bob's Burgers.
Oh, right.
So, whenever I hear her talking, that's all I can imagine now. It's that little girl with the bunny ears.
Exactly, yeah.